You're welcome to the VOEN'S Voices. This is Dr. Samson Okovoin. Today we talk about the art of characterization. Characterization is the art of arranging characters after they have been created. It is a fundamental aspect of storytelling that involves revealing the character's personality through direct and indirect means. Character creation involves much more than deciding whether someone is good or bad, stuck or flat, round or dynamic. It begins from identifying unique physical traits, key aspects of the character's surface or deep layered psychological aspects or dispositions, social characteristics that stand out. When the physical body has been created, you must give your character the breath of life. And 5 ways to give characters the breath of life include: 1. Voice or speech. Sound of voices. Learn to listen to voices and take note of how differently each one sounds. How do people speak? What is the speed of their speech? What region or tribe is reflected in the way they articulate their speech? How do your friends sound when they talk, laugh, or shout? How loud do they sound when they talk or laugh? How do they position their bodies when they talk or laugh or shout? The next thing you look out for is looks or physical appearance. What do you observe about your friend's height or weight? What is peculiar in the body size? Tell us or tell your reader about the noses you have met. What is the shape of the nose? How does it look like on the face? What is its size? What does the nose tell you about the person? What stands out about the position of the nose? What about the fascinating mouth you have met? How is the mouth built? How wide or rounded is it? Have you been struck by someone's eyes? Tell us about the eyes. What color are the eyes? How heavy are they? What shape do they assume? What region of the world can the shape or color or size of the eyes be ascribed to? What is the length of their legs, the size of their feet, the width of their waist, the width of their abs? What about the feet you have seen or observed? What is it about that feet that you have seen that gives you goose pimples or irritates you? Action. What do characters do and how do they do it? How do they walk? Do they gait? Do they tilt to the right or left? Do they walk astride, shuffle, drag or dart? Do they skip or jump or dart or bounce? Can you mimic each of their footsteps or footfalls? Do they touch themselves? How do they touch themselves? How do they touch others? How do they laugh when they are worried or bothered? How do they cry? What part of the body do they mostly touch? Have you watched how they eat? Do you take note of the sound they make when they eat? What about the movement of their mouths as they eat? How about the shape of their face when eating? How fast or slow do they chew? Have you watched people sleep? What are the amazing sleeping positions you have discovered or seen or observed? What sounds do they make when they sleep? How do they move when they sleep? 190, 360, or 90 degrees? How do they sound when they sleep? Is it a gritting snoring sound? Changing gears from 1 to 2 to 3? What shapes do they form when they sleep? Curve? Hoop? Mountains? What do people wear? And how do they wear them? How do people fart? How do they position their buttocks when they fart? What noise does their fart make? How loud is their fart? And the next thing we'll look at is thoughts. What are the people thinking about? And how does their thoughts affect what they do? What do you think the person you are interested in is thinking about? Do you think he or she is happy or sad? What is going on in his or her mind? Why do you think they react the way they do? What are the struggles these people are going through? And what are they struggling through right now? Then you also look out for responses. How do they respond to different situations? How do they show anger or joy or displeasure? How do they talk about others? How do your boyfriends talk about their girlfriends? How do husbands talk about their wives? How do wives talk about their husbands? How do girls or ladies talk about the men in their lives, their brothers, boyfriends or friends? How do boys or gentlemen talk about the women in their lives, their sisters, girlfriends or friends? How do people react to others' sense of fashion? How do they respond to education? And how does education affect them? How do people you have come across react to smells? What characters are presented to readers? How do you present your characters? Characters are defined by their desires, by their choices, by their obstacles. In drama, they are normally portrayed through their behavior. In poetry, through the persona. In novels and other narratives, through soliloquy and other means. Thank you.